Shanti, Shanti.
I've been asking myself, what is the meaning of zeal? I've always enjoyed that word. I love that word. It has such a fun sound to it. Zeal. Zeal. Growing up, raised in the church, I remember zeal being discussed. We should have zeal for God, and we feel the zeal. And I've been thinking, well, okay, but how? Because sometimes we don't feel it, and sometimes it doesn't seem immediately in our reach. So what do we do about that? So my talk today is about how. How do we do that if we're feeling not in the zeal already? Because sometimes we automatically wake up on the right side of the bed and we jump out and we're like, whoa, I feel good. And then sometimes it's not like that. So what do we do? Zeal, to me, sprouts from love. So if we have love inside of ourself for ourself, that's the foundation, that's the grounding point. It all begins from the love in ourself. It's a cliche because it's true. You can't give what you don't have. So that cultivation of self-love is the absolute most important thing. It's the beginning point of the zeal. I could even say that love and zeal are synonyms of each other. They're the same. The zeal is that overflowing energy of yes, where we just embrace everything about life, and we let life flow into us, and we let life flow out of us. And it's like the oneness that Dara was talking about. It's the losing the seeming separateness between us. It's the oneness. That's zeal. That's love. So it's that foundation first, setting that self-love practice in place. And sometimes in our different religious or spiritual traditions, we may have gotten the idea that it's selfish to take time for loving ourselves, like to stop and whisper I love you to yourself might seem awkward or strange sometimes, depending on the background that we were raised in. I remember years ago at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, listening over and over to Matt Kahn videos. Does anybody know Matt Kahn? Okay, Matt Kahn, go check him out on YouTube. His main practice that he teaches is the I love yous to yourself. You just sit there and you say, I love you, I love you, I love you, like over and over and over and over and over till you actually feel it. And it works. Even if you're in the most grief-stricken state or hopeless or depressed state, you sit there and you just keep saying it to yourself and you will eventually feel it. So we have that self-love as the foundation for building that outpouring of zeal, that love flow in and out. It's the foundation of self first. Then we have this outflow, this willingness to share love with others. So it's the willingness to be generous, to give, to offer to others. And for me, it's absolutely a non-negotiable that we need community, that we need each other. We do not have to do this alone anymore. Meaning, when we are going through the hard stuff of life, there is absolutely no need that we need to just burden it all, put it on our shoulders and just carry it all by ourselves as our own burden. That is the old paradigm, and that's not what's happening now. What's happening now is we are learning to be seen and to see others. And it can be scary because we don't want to be seen sometimes, and we don't want to see others sometimes. Because maybe what we see in others reflect back to us things that we don't necessarily like about ourselves yet. So the building of zeal, the building of love is this effort, this movement of community. So building real, true community. And that's what we're doing here at Unity. And that's what we're doing at our sister community, Ordinary Pioneer, and that's what we do at all the different spaces in Northwest Ohio that have this vision of oneness and love. And I'm so excited about it. I used to think that I would have to go far away to find community. Like I would have to go to some hippie commune, which that could be fun too, and I've done that, but go to California or go to some exotic place. No, it's right here, here in this moment. And every time I'm here, blessed to be invited to Unity to speak, I always feel the outpouring of love, the loving zeal from all of you. I'm yeah, we're doing this. We're doing this. So I'd like to invite you to imagine something for a moment. So imagining that there's a person on a stage and they're singing a beautiful tune. And their voice is perfect and it's harmonious and it's flowing and they're swaying and their body is emanating light and their song is filled with God's love. And now imagine two people on stage. And they're singing together and they're holding hands and this song is emanating from their souls. And now imagine 3 and 4 and 5 and on until the whole stage is full of beautiful beings singing in perfect harmony. And then imagine that all the people in the audience are receiving that song. And the people in the audience are feeding back that loving zeal to the people on the audience in gratitude. There's this energy of gratitude. Wow, you all are singing so beautifully. Thank you so much. That energy is going back to the people on the stage. And then the feeling of immense gratitude for the audience, getting to witness that is coming back to the audience. And it's this circular flow. And it doesn't stop and it doesn't end. And so the people in the audience are performing a beautiful function, just as you all are right now, which I'm so grateful for, the role of the receiver. And then the role that I'm in this moment is the role of the sharer, the offerer. And each role has its perfect place, and they're perfectly aligned and synchronized. So in your life, are there any opportunities for you to go deeper into your relationships? Is there any relationships that you have that you would like to go deeper? And not all are meant to go deeper, But are there any that you can think of that you know that you could open your heart to just a little bit more, or maybe a lot more? Maybe areas that frighten you. So sometimes we have this idea of, I want community and I want to build community and create that external beauty that supports the internal beauty. As I was saying, there's that inner foundation of self-love and then there's this community. And we want community to support the inner self-love even more. But maybe sometimes it can be scary. Because being in real vulnerable community, to feel the zeal of love expressed in community also means that we can only go so high in our loving zeal as we have the willingness to go to the depths of despair and grief together. So, are you willing to show yourself to another human being in that state of sadness, if you're in it, or anxiety, or worry? And that is the hardest thing in the world, because we want to always seem cool, calm, and collected, and cheerful, and yay, everything's great. But life is a series, as you know, of ups and downs. And in those down times, can we dare to let ourselves be seen by those in community that are willing? And then conversely, are we willing to hold space for those people that are going through hard times and to not get frustrated or impatient with them? Hey, why don't you heal faster? Kind of gotta go to lunch now. Like, I got things to do. And that's hard because, like, when we're feeling the good vibes, and then someone in front of us is feeling not good vibes, sometimes you want to run away. Because I don't want those bad vibes to pull me down. I gotta get out of here. So it's having that internal stamina to hold that space for another human being when they're going through it. So what I'm feeling about this loving zeal is it's got to be this reciprocal give and take of seeing others and being seen. It's got to be this flow. And it can be easy for us to get stuck on one side or the other. Like, I'm just going to sacrifice myself and get to everyone all the time. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter that I'm exhausted. I'm just going to keep going. Well, you know what happens then. We completely burn out and we end up turning to addictions to cope with our stress that's building, and that doesn't work. So acknowledging sometimes I need to recharge and sometimes I need to take some downtime to relax and do my own meditation practice and do my own prayer practice and step back from others for a while, and that's blessed and that's important. Or we can get into the other role of feeling that it's everyone else's responsibility to fix us. Having lots of too many demands on others that they fulfill how we feel it should be. You're not holding space for me right. You're not hugging me the right way. Why aren't you saying the right things? No one understands me. I'm so alone. Like that victim kind of woe is me energy. And that's taking the receiving to like the extreme. So what is zeal? Zeal is love magnified through the healthy balance in community of giving and receiving. And love is ultimately a blessing to us that we only get to feel in the context of relationship. So, yes, we're all one. And the magic of it is that we also get to feel that we're individuals too within that love. And we get to feel the joy of being like, wow, you're so unique. I love how you do you. Like Ernie, I love how you wear your hat. I could never pull that off. And Angeles, I love how you dance.
Yeah.
And we all have our beautiful, own unique beauty. So love is multiplied and magnified into the frenzy of zeal through relationship with each other. And then even beyond that, extending our community beyond the human realm, even into the angelic realm, and the beings that don't even have bodies anymore. Maybe they did at some point, or maybe they never did. The beings who all the time are with us and support us. Having relationships with those beings too, and including them in our community of care and acknowledging their presence. For some of us, it's the Christ energy. For some of us, it's other beings, the Krishna energy. It's all, again, it's the oneness and it's the beautiful, unique individuality. Each different being playing their own unique role, magnifying and receiving that love and whipping it up into this frenzy, the zeal. for many years, I'm a very deep person. I used to only express myself through my poetry. So I would sit, like, in my poetry classes, I'd sit in the corner with my hood up over my head and, like, scribbling my angry feminist poems. And you wouldn't recognize me from even, like, 15 years ago. But I would ask myself these super deep questions. What is the meaning of life? Why am I here? And I had no real answers. I wasn't even on the trail yet at that point, or I wasn't able to even get a whiff of it. I just had these questions, but the question I kept asking was, why am I here? It all felt very pointless a lot of the time. And I finally figured out an answer that satisfies me. Thank goodness. And that answer is love. I am here to love. And I'm here to be loved and share love. Why else would I be here? To make money? No. To have comfort? No. I can't, there's nothing else. It is love. It's the essence of creation itself. Or else the creation would be nothing. In the beginning, God created. It was just the void. It was the nothingness. It was the Shiva energy. It was the darkness. It was they call it a lot of different things in different traditions. But it was that nothingness. And out of that nothingness came something. Why? To love. Because it's fun. So we're here, and we have these physical bodies, and we have this community, and this relationship, and this potential. And we're not going to get it right all the time, but we're getting it right more and more. And I'm so encouraged. I'm so encouraged by these beautiful gatherings of like-minded souls. And yeah, there is some crazy stuff in the world right now. And our job as bringers of loving zeal to the world is to hold space for all that grief. And to let ourselves feel that grief with others. So if you feel sad about what's going on in the world, that's part of it. But we don't get stuck there also. And we remember our purpose. So I'll leave you with one invitation, which is, in your life, I'd like to encourage you to work on one relationship for the next week. Maybe it's a relationship with yourself, maybe it's a relationship with another human, or maybe it's a relationship with a divine being. But just take a moment and think, what is the relationship that most needs my attention and care? What relationship needs more love, more compassion, more attention? And let that be your intention for the week ahead. Wishing you all kinds of zeal and love on your journey. Thank you.